have been wanting to come here since we got into Serbia.
Good morning, was our last morning in Zlatibor. Just checked out of our Airbnb and we are heading to Niš today, but before we go there today we are stopping at a few places that we really want to check out, so let's go.
We really wanted to do this road trip and stop along the way and, go on a little less traveled part of Serbia. We're really excited to see some of these places, see some of these tiny towns along the way to Niš. We drove about an hour east of Zlatibor and we just got into a little town called Aurelia, and I have been wanting to come here since we got into Serbia. This place is great. This is exactly where I wanted to be right now. In a place where there's clearly no tourists. It's quite obvious. We are not from here. This place is awesome. So the reason why we chose this place is because it is one of the top producers of raspberries, and not just in Serbia, Europe, but in the world.
This is like a small town feel. I mean, the main street is probably, what, not even 200 meters.
It is amazing. This feels like real Serbia to me. I feel like the other places were slightly touristy. So this place is not just known for the raspberries, even though that's a really big thing, but the main street of the town, it runs right up to the church. It's like goes straight into the church, and it's a really, really old church. And I think we're able to go in, so let's go see.
The church where we're staying right now is the Church of Achilles, and it was built in the 13th century. This church was built on top of another church. There was a church here before and it was completely destroyed, and they just built this on top of it, and all of this stuff is like basically still original. All those paintings on the walls, it's just amazing. Obviously there's so much more facts about this place, but you can see that it's just crazy how well this stuff is preserved and how well this building is preserved through all these years.
I mean, we figured it's only fitting, right? We have to get something with raspberries in it while we're here. So, very local. And yeah. Ooh. Little tart. It's so good though.
Raspberries. Raspberries, yeah.
Straight raspberries. So to put things into perspective as far as raspberry production and like size of places, I think I read that Russia was #1 last year and Mexico was #2, and then Serbia was #3, with most of the raspberries coming from right here in this small town. And to put things into perspective, Russia is like 21,000 times the size of Serbia. Mexico is, I think I read, 8,000 times the size of Serbia. So to think that this little town is producing all these raspberries is pretty crazy. And in 2015, Serbia took the lead for most raspberries exported. That number was 100,000 tons exported.
Another cool fact that we learned is for every 15 people in Aurelia, there's a privately held business. This place is also very well known for its entrepreneurship, obviously. And I think that's pretty cool. And it also says a lot about the people. Just they will to survive and make their own way.
Alright, that wraps it up for Aurelia. And now, unfortunately, we have to leave and get in the car and drive an hour and a half to our next stop. See you there. We just arrived at our next stop. We're still about 2 hours and 15 minutes away from Niš, our final destination. But the reason we stopped at this place, it was recommended to us in the comments, and nobody else mentioned it, and it happened to be on the way from Zlatibor to Niš, and so we decided to stop and check it out. We are in Kraljevo, and we need some food, so we're gonna get something to eat first.
This place was okay. It's not the best. I mean, it's pretty popular, but nothing really that excited us. We just got normal shopka salads. The brebranik was the bean dish with the sausage. The sausage wasn't good at all. And then we had the chicken and some french fries. That's it.
And some grilled vegetables. Oh, we did get the bread. The bread was good.
It's called pojika. But everything else, like, yeah.
Nothing to write home about.
Yeah.
No.
But let's check out this town.
What I found about this place is that it's the unique design of this place, and I think the legend has it that Prince Milo, he had a pan with sand in it, and he just drew something with his finger in the sand, and then he had an architect build the city. And so their square is really a big circle, and all the buildings surrounding it are in this circular kind of half moon shape. And then the monument behind me right now, I believe, is dedicated to the fallen soldiers of the Balkan War and World War I. Don't quote me on that.
You read up everywhere that it says it's like a combination of the old and the new, but it really is. When you walk around here, you can see the old buildings, and then you can see some of the new buildings popping up, and it's really in between. It's not like sections. Another thing worth mentioning about Kraljevo is that it's actually called the City of Kings, and the reason for that being is that 7 kings have been crowned right here.
Other really cool thing that's in the area that I was really looking forward to is hope I'm pronouncing this right, the Studenica Church or Monastery. And it's rumored that Saint Sava himself lived or stayed in the area and the surrounding areas of this church. This monastery is made out of marble. That would have been really cool to see. There's a lot of history there. We're gonna have to end our quick 30-45 minute walk around Kraljevo, but it was nice to get out of the really touristy places. So on that note, we gotta head to Niš. So, gonna say goodnight.